Hey everybody, and welcome back to Grounds Family Farm. We have been dealing with a huge problem here lately, and that problem is predators. As you can see behind me, our yard chickens, there's not quite as many as what there were before, and we've noticed that what seems to be missing the most are the white ones. I guess it's just because they stand out, or maybe they're not as smart. I'm not real sure, but all I know is we've got to figure out what's going on with these chickens and get it fixed before we lose the rest of them. We are still working on this area to get them actually enclosed in a pen. I've been on a work shift that's been kind of crazy, and so we've just not had the time to dedicate to do it, because what we've got to do first is we've got to clean up all this mess right here, which a lot of these were old bushes and stuff that we had planted in pots or grow bags, and they just grew through it into the ground, and we're not really focusing on that part of our life anymore. So we're going to change things up, clean all this mess up. We'll probably salvage some of them, but the stuff we don't need, we're probably just going to get rid of it when we clean up, move the actual coop right here over to this spot, and build a run out behind it. As you can see, there's a few of the chickens here. There's still a few more that didn't come up that are still running around. So this is not all of them, but it's still quite a few less than what we had before. And we just want to get that fixed. I do have some stuff to show you that gave us some clues of what it might be, but we're still not 100%, but we're going to try to figure it out so we can end this and hopefully keep them all safe. Like I said, the main thing is once we get the run actually done, that will do it. Because what the plan is to set the coop up on this end and then make a run go out the back of it. I'm not sure how big yet, but I want to build it out of 2x4 panels with wire over them that we can actually, like, they'll probably be like 6 foot tall by 10 or 12 foot long, that we can actually take apart and move if we ever want to move this, rather than putting them in the ground where they're stationary. I want to build it like eventually, or essentially, it's going to be individual panels that will connect together, either with bolts or some sort of connecting device, so that once they get here, if we decide to move somewhere else, we can take it apart and we'll just have a bunch of panels to move and we can put it back together, much like the corral system, but with a chicken pen. And so the goal is, if we can do that, then it'll be permanent for here, but it's also, I guess, semi-permanent is where we're getting at. That way, we're not just stuck to this one spot, because we may put them here and realize this just doesn't work out and they need a new spot. Like I said, they're here eating now. The wire pen that we had them in, the netting just wasn't really working out. They were getting where they were flying over it, and it just kept sagging no matter how much we tried to adjust and move. And it might be partially where it's at, because it's on a hill. It's kind of rocky, and it just, like I said, it just wasn't working out. So we end up turning them loose, because most of them were staying out anyhow. So we just opened up where they go in and out as they wanted, and they started roosting closer to the house, which I think has been keeping them safer. But they're all happy with that. But that's what's been going on with the chickens lately. Before I show you what we found, I want to tell you about a tool that was sent to us by the sponsor of today's video, Akaso. This is a pair of Akaso's Seymour 200 night vision goggles. One thing that we really liked about these, the company reached out to us, asked if we'd like to try them to do our night checks and stuff on the farm, and they didn't realize we were having predator problems at the time, but it just worked out that they're really handy for that too. What we really like about these is they're only about $250 if you decide to buy a pair, which for night vision, that's really good. So it kind of made us a little leery of the quality at first, but once we got them, that reservation was gone. These are super awesome in complete darkness. They've got infrared with like a 16x zoom and like 7 different levels of intensity, so that if it's really depending on how much light you have, you can really focus in on stuff. Super handy that they actually have a clear picture up to like 3,280 feet, so long distance shot with those too. And the really neat part about these is these have AI color technology, so if you are in low light conditions, it'll recreate the colors of everything that's out there, and it's about 99% accurate on that. And we've got some video footage that we shot last night from our night checks of the animals to demonstrate how awesome that is. I mean, if you look at this, it's like sitting out in daylight. It also has up to 16x zoom, so if you got something really far out there, you can see that. But even without it zoomed in, you can still see, you'll see from the stuff we took, the cows that were in the pasture, like our neighbor's cows, way out there. We could still make out what they were and see, and it was really good. And you actually are going to get to see a calf nursing out in the pasture with night vision. So we're super thrilled about that. We really appreciate them sending this to us. We're going to have a link down in the description, so if you want to pick up a pair, if you got Amazon Prime, you get some free shipping on them because they are on Amazon Prime. But really super thrilled with them, and we really want to thank Acaso for sending us this set because they're going to come in handy. Not only are they great for the night farm checks, but they're also good for other purposes too. The girls really want to do like a survival type camping trip, and I think we're going to take these with us because they will come in super handy if we're out in the woods, because I know the girls are probably going to be a little bit scared of that. But if we actually get to make that happen, it should be a lot of fun, and these will come in super handy, and they've got an 8-hour battery life on them, so they should last all we need for that trip too. It's going to be really neat, and we're super thrilled with this product. So if you'd like to check them out, check out the link in the description. Go buy you a pair, and you will be happy with them too. So it's 11 o'clock at night. We're out doing our evening checks. Normally we don't bring y'all along with us because we have to use a flashlight and camera quality is terrible at night. But we've got a new tool to try out that should make our evening checks a lot easier. But before we get into that, we've got to shut off this light and kind of let you see what it looks like right now at night outside. So this is what it currently looks like outside without any flashlight or anything. The moon's kind of out, so there's a little bit of light, but it's still really dark and you can't see what's going on. But we were sent this set of Acaso Seymour 200 night vision goggles. Really neat. We're going to try them out. They work in color and infrared. So this is what you're seeing right now with just the camera that we used to film with. And I'm fixing to show you what you're going to be able to see with these goggles. These are the goggles that they sent us. And look at that picture. Is that not amazing? This is in the color mode, which with the color mode, it takes low light to be able to work. But I mean, you can still see all the way across the pasture. I mean, you can even see my fingers in the way, but way down there, you can even see the animals in the far pen, the horses, donkeys, and all that. I mean, this is just an amazing set of stuff. Go ahead and bring the camera over here and see if you can get a video of that inside that. Just to.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, look at the color on that compared to what you just saw. I mean, that is crazy.
That's amazing.
So these are the night vision goggles. Like I said, we're going to use these to kind of do our checks. We've been having some trouble with some predators, and this may help us be able to keep them at bay, or at least to see what's going on with them. The other great thing is that it also works in infrared, and I'm fixing to change it to that because it works even better. Okay. Oh, crazy. This is infrared mode. Look at that. But look how far you can see. Like, you can see all the way. I mean, our neighbors' cows that are like all the way across there, you can see those. And then we can check all of our animals out right over here. And with the infrared, you don't have to have low light conditions for it to work.
That is fantastic.
But the color, it uses AI with low light conditions to get you like a true color of what is actually like almost like you're sitting in daylight. I mean, it's crazy. Out there's the trailer. There's our cows. But back to the predators. We're fixing to go out. There's been coyotes coming up at night, and they've been coming in the back pasture. So we're fixing to go out back to kind of see if we can see any of them out there. It's still a little early yet, so we may not, but we're going to see what we can find out in the back pasture. Okay, so here's the sheep in their pen. Like I said, it's very dark here too, but you can see that they're all doing well. There's 4 little lambs. Oh, there's one playing right there, jumping up on the thing. The goats are fine. All the sheep are good. Like I said, this is pretty amazing. And then we can change it into IR mode. And for some reason, it's just the metal fence, the way it reflects. I don't know why. I guess it's the infrared laser bouncing off the metal reflecting back.
Okay.
Would be my guess. Because that's what it's having to use to get it. So I'm guessing it just makes it reflect back.
Okay. But that's really cool still.
Okay, so I hear a cow hollering in the back. Let's go see if we can check it out.
Okay.
Okay, so back here is the area that we've been having trouble with hearing coyotes come up. This is the pond right here, and they've been coming up on the back side of it. There's a wooded area behind there, so I think that might be where they're coming out of. Just look around. Oh, looky there. There's a calf nursing.
Oh my goodness.
That is a good picture, because, I mean, that's a good ways out there.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look at the other one, you can't see
I mean,
anything.
the fact that you can see that it's, I mean, you can tell it's nursing. I mean, it's a very good quality.
Yeah.
Oh, you can even see the cows, the neighbor's cows, way back there
Oh my goodness.
in the backfield. Those are his.
That is really cool.
And there's the rest of the cows up there. They're out moving around.
That's cool.
So now let's see how this looks like in color. Okay.
Oh my.
And I know it's a little pixelated because there is very low light. I think if there's a little bit more light, it would probably do better. But plus, there's an adjustment for how far you are, and I'm still working on tweaking that where it works just perfectly. But we'll go to these over here. Like I said, if we had a little bit more light, it would pick up a little bit better because it's using AI technology to give it the colors. But I mean, that's still amazing what you can see. I mean, you can see good enough to tell what's going on.
Yeah, for sure.
And like I said, if you don't have the good low light conditions, then just change it back to IR mode and you can see really good. Because with IR mode, you can actually change the intensity or zoom in on it. Well, you can zoom in on both of them, but see, look like right there.
Oh my, that's crazy.
Okay, see, like you can change the intensity of the infrared to make it put out more light, where it'll actually make it a little bit brighter on
That's so cool.
what you're looking at. But like I said, with the moonlight like it is, it's really not that bad right now. But it's throw up a lot of extra intensity.
That is just truly
So this
amazing.
is going to be really nice because if we see any coyotes slipping up, we'll actually be able to see them, maybe be able to tell where they're coming from.
Yes.
And get them taken care of.
Yeah. So helpful, especially with them becoming more of an issue here lately.
Yes. You know, it being breeding season.
Yeah.
Oh, there they go, walking away. But yeah, I really think this is going to be an invaluable tool to have.
Absolutely.
Especially if we start doing some trapping and things like that with the predators. It'll be handy to have to go check on stuff.
Yep.
Or if you're going to do any like survival camping.
Yeah. See what's going on around you.
Yep.
Tons of applications here on the farm and then also for recreation.
Yep. It's just crazy how far you can see those cows out across there.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're fixing to head out to the other pasture so I can show you exactly what we found and what we think the issue is that's happening with our chickens. Like I said, there's so much stuff going around that people are worried about, but this is definitely predators because we've got some evidence out in the pasture where the hay is, and once you see it, you'll get what's going on. Okay, so we've made our way out to the pasture where the hay is stored to show you a little bit of evidence that we found that gave us a clue of what might have happened to the missing chickens. So we did have a heavy rain, so some of it washed away, but there are a lot of feathers that are matted down here. Like I said, before the rain, they were a lot fluffier and it looked like a lot bigger pile, and plus we had some major winds. So it blew part of them away, but that's one of the first clues that let us know that we are dealing with a predator and it's not something here close. I know we talked about that we had trouble with Cinnamon and the chickens, but she was fastened up in a pen and not where she could get out here. And they were actually chickens that had gotten in her pen. These were ones that were some of the yard chickens just running around. But there is one pile that we found, and we've got another one over here, also out in the same pasture. And so we're pretty sure that what's happening is it's coyotes is coming up because they're as far out as they've been drug off. But we're not 100% positive, but that's the route we're going to take because we've been hearing a lot of coyotes here lately, and we know it's mating season for the coyotes, and so they're really packed up together now, and so I think that's what's really going on with the chickens. Here's a few more feathers that we've had. Like I said, that's not a huge pile, but it's leading over that. And we've got another pile over here. Let me find it again. In this sunlight, it's kind of hard to see, especially since they got matted down. Oh, up here. Walk right past it. But here is another pile. So based on the size of these piles, and there's no bones or anything else left, I mean, it's like they drug it out here to eat it and then went on about their way. So back here, I'm going to show you where we've seen coyotes before and we hear them a lot. And the reason that they're also such an issue, if they're getting that hungry that they're taking out chickens, if they don't have chickens and stuff to take out, will they start hurting baby calves? Because that's something that we don't want, is for them to start attacking the calves too, because the cows are pretty good about protecting the baby calves, but if there's a lot of coyotes, they may not be able to do it. So we need to try to take care of this problem before it becomes a huge issue. But this is the cow pasture where you see us feeding the cows a lot. And back there, there's a pond right back here over that hill. And then all of that's wooded area behind there. And there's a river back there. And I think that's where they're coming from. We've actually seen coyotes on the pond bank over here, like 5 or 6 of them one night when it was just getting dusky dark. But now they're coming out at a time that's later, like super late in the nights whenever we're here. And I'm like, probably, I don't know, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Because I know whenever we went on our checks last night at 11, they still weren't out yet. Of course, the weather's been a little crazy too, so that might affect it. But what I'm thinking we might need to do is to start trapping. I have zero experience in trapping, but I think that watching a few YouTube videos and talking to our good pal Brandon, I think we're going to figure it out where maybe we can catch something to try to deter them, because maybe if we can catch 1 or 2 of them, the rest of them will be like, hey, this is not safe to be, and they'll move on. But I think if we do, we're probably going to go back here in this wooded area, and that's where we're going to set them. We still got to collect some supplies. We picked up a few, which I'll show you in a minute, but not having any experience and everything, I'm just trying to, I want to get by with the bare minimum, because trapping's not a big thing for us, and so it's not something I'm just overly interested in. It's mainly just to solve a problem. And so I don't want to go out and spend a bunch of money on trapping stuff and then realize it's something that I am just no good at, and so it doesn't work, or that I just really don't like at all. And then if that's the case, that's a lot of wasted money. So I've just, like I said, so far I bought the bare bone kit. I've got a little bit more that I do need, I think, but I'm going to have to do some more talking to Brandon to find out, because whenever we were shopping, the stuff he said I couldn't find it all, but I think part of it I can order online. And so that's going to be the plan for that, is eventually we'll take y'all back there to show y'all us setting up a trap, which that might be very entertaining, because like I said, I have zero experience in trapping. I've never really had a desire to trap, and now we're going to have to, because that's one thing about it, is the animals are depending on us to keep them safe. So that's what we're going to do, or at least try. I don't know how well it's going to work out, but hopefully it works out well. And if not, maybe y'all at least have a good show watching us try. But that's one thing. I'm fixing to take you over, show you the stuff that we do have so far. And then maybe you'll have suggestions you can leave down in the comments of stuff that we need or that we should have, or maybe some advice. Because like I said, we've watched lots of different YouTube channels of people trapping, so that gave us an idea kind of what we need. But we were able to go to Bass Pro, and they only had a limited supply of stuff, and everything that we saw in the videos they did not have. So we may have to do some more checking online. But like I said, I only want to have to get the bare minimum, because I don't want to waste money on something that we don't have a whole lot of interest doing. Okay, so here's the stuff that we picked up from Bass Pro. Not sponsored by them, but it's the only place we had that we could go and find the stuff. First thing we knew we needed was some bait. So this bait it's a predator bait. It's for coyote, raccoon, fox, or bobcat. We're focusing on the coyote portion of it. And then we were told that we needed an attractant. So this is coyote urine, and it says it attracts predators and deters rodents. So we've got that to try to draw them into the area where we're going to put the trap. And then, let's see here. We got a fox and coyote foot trap. Not sure that we're a huge fan of these, but it's the most economical thing to get, the most affordable. And where we're going to put it, it's going to be back in the pasture, and it's going to be, there's no dogs or anything around back there. And also we're going to fence or close the gate where the cows can't get back there. I don't think they would go back where we would put this anyhow, but just to keep them for sure safe, we're going to lock them out of there whenever we actually go set this. And we'll probably set it, and if we don't catch anything in a couple of days, we're probably just going to call it good and realize that they're probably not back in the area we thought anymore, and it was just, or they're not actually, we don't know what we're doing well enough for them to come step in our trap. But like I said, we've got that, and then I also saw that they said on the videos that we needed these wolf fang stakes, and pretty much you attach one end to this and the other you drive in the ground, and so it keeps this where once they get their foot stuck, they can't run off of your trap. And these are supposed to be really good. I forgot what the weight thing. I saw something online that showed like how many pounds of pull or whatever they would hold, and it was crazy the amount they would. So that's not a big deal. So that's what we have so far. Like I said, track supply was limited. I've looked since then, and I've seen where we might need some little screens or something to put over it to keep dirt and stuff from getting underneath the foothold. I'm not sure if that's a necessity or if that's just a extra thing that they were trying to market. And also we a sifter to sift the dirt back over the top of it, which I'm either going to make one or buy one on Amazon, because I couldn't find one at Bass Pro, and some of the other like trapping places, they're super expensive. And like I said, for what we need, since it's just going to be something small and a very few times, I want to try to get something as cheap as possible to do. And like I said, it may be that we end up making it. I can get some hardware cloth and just make a little thing to sift the dirt on it to keep the chunks from setting off the trap or blocking it where it won't go off. But that's going to be something for a future video. Like I said, never really thought that we would be trapping, but we've got to keep these animals safe. And like I said, I'm more worried. I mean, the chickens are a big deal, but I'm more worried about, like, what if they get tired of chicken, they decide they want some of our baby goats or lambs or calves. I mean, some of those are high dollar animals which right now with everything going on with the chickens, they're high dollar animals, but they weren't whenever we first got them. And a lot of these are some that we'd hatched out. But what if they start going after some of the other stuff, or like if we end up getting like show goats or show lambs, something like that, if they go after that and end up hurting those, and then the girls won't have their animals that they've worked hard to get, or won't be able to show. So we've got to do something to try to keep these things at bay. And hopefully if we can catch one or two, maybe it'll get the message across to the others to stay away, that this is not the place for a free buffet. Not really sure how that's going to work out, because like I said, I've never trapped before, but I think it may be a lot of fun. I don't know. It's probably going to depend on if the girls are interested or not, because if it's not something that I really am, but if it's something that they take a liking to or interested in, then I mean, that helps me get a little more interested in it. So that's just something we're going to have to play by ear. Okay, so that's where we're at on the chickens. Like I said, if you got any suggestions of other stuff we need for that trapping set, be sure to leave a comment down below. Let us know what you think we might need and where we might be able to find it at the most economical price. And it's something we'll check out. Like I said, if it's something we can make, we'll probably do that. And also, let us know what you think about this spot. It's kind of up on a hill. How big of a run do you think that we should build onto this? Because I'm not even sure how many chickens this coop will hold, but it ought to be quite a few. And so what size run do you think, and what do you think about our idea of building it into individual panels so that it is movable rather than setting post and putting it in the ground? Like I said, we will probably fix up some wire on the edges so that stuff can't dig under the side if they try to get up to it. But I think it's a good idea, and Kimberly does too. But if you've tried that and maybe it's a problem, or you see that it could be a problem, let us know some suggestions you have for that. Because like I said, we haven't built it yet, so it's not one of those things where we can't take your suggestions. Sometimes it's after the fact, whenever y'all give suggestions, we're like, man, that would have been really good to do, but we've already done it, and we're not going to go back and rebuild something completely whenever we've already done it. But at this point, this is still in the works. We still got a lot of cleanup to do. Stuff's starting to green up, and we really want to get it done before then. I can take a bush hog to part of that, but there's some mounds of dirt and rocks and stuff in the back that we're going to have to clean up too, and then all these bushes. So if you've got any great suggestions for that chicken run of how big it should be, or another idea of how to build it rather than what we're saying, I don't want to put posts in the ground and set it permanent, because I want it where if we decide to move it someday, we can. But I'm open to your suggestions if you have something better or a good idea for that. Like I said, I know that we just need to get it done. We are going to it'll be 6 foot tall on the sides, and I'm pretty sure we're probably going to put a roof of some sort or a wire over the top of it. They'll have the coop to get out of the weather, but I think I may wire the top. It just depends. We really don't have a whole lot of air predators here that I've seen or that we've dealt with. So if the chickens don't fly out, I don't know if that's going to be a huge thing unless something crawls over it, which a raccoon or something like that could. So Still debating on that too. Let us know your thoughts on that. I know whenever we lived down in South Arkansas, we had one. It was like 5.5 foot tall. The chickens never got out, and nothing ever got in and messed with them either. So that's what makes me think maybe we don't need a roof over it or a wire over the top. But leave us a comment about what you think about our idea for this, or if you think that that's a bad idea and we should scrap it and do something else. Like I said, I don't want to go and buy like a kennel and do that kind of thing because those are super expensive and I can build stuff a lot cheaper than what I can do. Plus, I just like building stuff too, whenever I have time. That's the thing. I've changed shifts at work, so it should get a little better for building as long as the weather holds out. But the fact that we change every month, it won't be but a couple more weeks and I'll be back on another one. So that's our plans for this. Like I said, we're super excited and ready to get this done. Oh, look, there's Marshmallow out there. Let me see if I can. This is the other cat Brandon was supposed to take home with him that he did not get. Marshmallow might find his way out there still yet. Who knows? But he's a good little hunter. He's out here looking for some prey. But we want to take a moment and say thank you again to Acaso for sending us the night vision goggles. They're super nice. Like I said, check them out in the description below for a link to their product. You can check it out, see if it's something that might work for you. Lots of applications, but we're super thrilled with that. And I think that's all we've got for you today. So we'll catch you next time on Grounds Family Farm. Bye.